So in this video, we're going to talk about more Wave 1 strategies. Now notice, interestingly, the same collection, which I was just talking about, notice how it's crashing through now. And it's down at 25,000 market cap, just as I predicted. And like I said, I'm not a fortune teller. It's just I've seen so many of these charts. And I can quickly think about the chart, think about their socials, think about the hype, think about the potential, and work it out. And notice in the last 5 minutes, what's happened to the volume? It started to drop. So that's the other thing. The volume slowly dropping as well, which is not a good sign. And they need to do something. They need to do some new marketing or do something else that will create a bit of hype and pump. Otherwise, I don't see a lot of potential. Now, here, when the collection gets a little bit dead, like I said, it may still go up to 200, 300,000. Like, I don't know for sure. But anyway, even from here, you can actually take a small beat-up trade and see if you can just spike it up to 40. It's just, it gets a little bit risky here because a lot of people are looking at the chart and they're like holding bags from all the way at the top here and they can quickly sell on you. You just have to be a little bit careful about that. You can definitely get in buys. I mean, even these buys are looking a bit suspicious. People are buying exactly 413. You know, that could be a team as well. You don't know for 100% sure. But even if this goes up, I'm happy I got out. But because basically the probability is not in the favor of this particular chart. And like I said, there's nothing going on with this collection on Twitter or anything else. It's not really got any Twitter following or hype on here. Suddenly it's got a bit more engagement on this particular post. Hopefully because they said on the group, hey guys, come and engage with this post. You know, the people in the community are obviously doing that. Everybody wants to pump their bags. I mean, it's good for the projects to get the community to work. The community has to work together to try and pump some of these projects, of course. And like I said, not a bad idea. Arab dog, different from the usual dog meme coins we have. Fair enough. Don't know what's going to happen with this. But anyway, let's move on. So let's click on new pairs again and let's go through the process again. So going to click on age. Just zoom in a little bit here. And I'm interested in most recent because we're talking about Wave 1 strategies here. And immediately see Milo. There's a lot of like collections that are like mimicking real world meme coins or really popular meme coins in terms of their names and stuff like that. Sometimes they do okay, but generally not that well. Anyway, I'm glancing at this. I'm looking at the liquidity because that gives me an idea of market cap. That's almost a market cap really. And it's very low. I mean, I know it's just launched, but already it's not looking good. Doesn't have much hype. Let's open in a new tab anyway, see what's going on. See if it's got any socials. Doesn't have any socials. So already I'm not that keen on it. But maybe they just didn't pay Dex Screener. Price is a bit all over the place. Let's click on market cap to get a better idea. And we can see the price hasn't really pumped much at all. It's got to 8,000. Maybe it's a bit of a slow burner. Let's click on search on Twitter. It could be a very hyped collection that just didn't bother with Dex Screener so people don't know about it yet. That's a good thing. You can get in early then. But does anybody care about this? Is anybody talking about it? Can we find its collection details? So there's something here called Gems Calls. So it means they've probably done a little bit of shilling. And then I can click on that link and then I found it. Milo on Sol. So it's almost certainly this one. So it's basically... they've got no posts yet. Maybe they're thinking about doing a post soon. Who knows? Bit of basic information. Obviously, you've got the Telegram there as well, so we can check all of the socials. But let's get back on the chart, see if there's anything interesting going on. Not much, again. So let's have a look and see if we have a website as well. Maybe that will give us a better idea. But I'm not seeing a website either, so that's not great. So we don't really have the social links. Even if it's a really good project, well-funded, did loads of marketing, if they don't do basic things like these social links and stuff like that, that's not a good sign. It means they're just throwing a project out there to see what sticks. These ones don't do well. They don't last very long. Notice though, chart doesn't look horrific. Like I said, this pump is not great. But the problem with this chart is, like I showed you in previous videos, the volume right now is 2.8, which is not great anyway. This is only going to go down. Unless they find some hype somewhere, this is only going to go down, the volume. And then it's going to be stuck at the starting liquidity, which looks like about $500, which is what they put in the liquidity pool. And notice here, it doesn't say liquidity locked either. So we don't know if they've burned that liquidity, so they can't sell the tokens back. So loads and loads of signs. So even if this pushes up a bit, I wouldn't be interested. But again, other things you can do. Anybody big buying it, let's say 200 minimum. Anybody forking out $200 on this project so far? Well, there's been selling, big selling. And these could be bots, who knows? Just looking to take some quick profits, but not really. Basically, in the last 8 minutes, there's been one transaction of $200 and it was a sell. So basically, not going anywhere more than likely. But again, that's all part of the research. We need to go into Telegram and stuff like that as well, have a good look over it, just to see if there's anything we're missing. The good thing is sometimes, not this particular one, definitely not this one, but some other collections that are very hyped. So if they're very hyped on Twitter, they've got their Telegram going. They've just not bothered to pay the $299 for text screener, or they're planning to do it later. Fair enough. So you come in here and they have no socials. And most people are like, well, I'm not going to touch that with a barge pole. It has no socials. But because you'd be ahead of time, or even at the time, you've done your proper research. It's got a pumping Twitter, pumping Telegram. Well, then you should be excited, because as soon as people know that this is a legit project, or a project that's got some legs, and they start adding socials on text screener later, this is going to start flying a little bit. So you can actually get in early. You still need to do all of your checks, draw up the chart exactly how I've shown, look for setups, but you could be getting in very early there. And technically speaking, even though this is no volume, it's getting a little bit more volume now, so it's not that bad. Notice that it's that same initial resistance, that's where it's hitting. And if it keeps playing around this 7,000 market cap, more than likely it will break through. It will break through. And you can see now, look at that. The liquidity is green, which means they've locked liquidity. They've probably just burned the tokens. People are more bullish on it now, just because of that. But even then, there's just not that much going on. These are ones where, even now I'm thinking, shall I have a quick soul punt on it, see if we can get it to 15,000, because the volume's up a little bit. The volume bars are at the bottom, but they're just not up enough. And remember, I've got it sorted so that I've filtered the biggest transactions, and there's no big transactions here. There's just not enough in liquidity. And in fact, there was a massive sell again only a few seconds ago. So there's 2 big sells, no big buys still. So yeah, this one I'd probably walk away. But I'm more of a riskier type trader, sometimes I might still take a punt on this, but really there's nothing here. So even for me on the riskier end, there's nothing. For most of you who are kind of in the middle of the spectrum, you shouldn't go anywhere near this collection. There's nothing in here for you. There's nothing that will hold or support price. If a few people suddenly sell, there's no liquidity, nothing. You should have nothing to do with this collection. I hope that's crystal clear. Next video, we're going to look through some more, and we're going to do a bit more in terms of detailed analysis, and I'll show you exactly what we're looking for on Telegram as well when it comes to the collection, and also what we're looking on in terms of the contract. So when we look, for example, at holders. Thanks for